Good morning. I came on a couple minutes early to make sure I could get everything working okay. So, I see a few of you have found me okay. Could you just let me know if you can hear me okay? I see Nancy St. Pierre's here. Okay. Hi, Cecile. Hi, Nancy. We got one more minute. See if people can find me. All right, I can see Carolyn's joining us. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. And let's get started. So if you'd like to place, first of all, my name is Corinne Sandin. I'm a Stampin' UP demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for over 20 years here in the Lewiston, Auburn area. I do classes and co-ops and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you'd like to join something, reach out to me and I'll make sure you're part of my monthly, once or twice a month I put out a newsletter. I try not to overindulge in people's mailboxes. Not too sure what's going on here. Hold on, I gotta just check something on my other device so I can make sure I can see you. All right. Looks like a few more people have joined us. Okay, so welcome Annette and Carolyn and Nancy and Cecile. So if you'd like to place an online order, you can find this host code always on my business page. And in my emails, there's always a link to my store. So if your order is less than $150, this is the code that I would appreciate it if you use it. It ensures that I get credit for the sale as well. So just a few housekeeping announcements to make. I do have a co-op coming up next Saturday at Holy Cross Church in Lewiston, Maine here. I still have some slots that are available, so if that's something you're interested in, the hours are 8 to 4, and it's $35, does not include lunch, but we have make and takes, we have drawings, thank you gifts, there are items to purchase. Just private message me, or text me, or email me, whatever your best method of communication is, and I can give you all the details. It is for Coats for Kids as part of the Knights of Columbus. Then I wanted to share my paper share with you. I do a monthly paper share, which a lot of people really like because they don't have to purchase a whole package of the designer series paper or a whole package of, I call them blings, you know, like rhinestones or what have you not. And ribbon. So this month is one that you can purchase. However, you have to make a $50 order before tax and shipping to get this, because it is a free celebration item. So if you're not familiar with celebration, it is an option to select items of your choice up to $50 before tax and shipping. And you get to select certain items for free. So this is the paper pack that you will be getting, part of a paper pack, I should say, if you sign up for my monthly paper share. This is the front side, and then this is the back side. And you're going to see me use some of this today. So you get 12 sheets of this that are 6 by 6. You also get 2 yards of ribbon. You get a half a package this month. We're going to be using the red rhinestones, which you can find in the annual catalog. Speaking of catalogs, if you do not have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, just reach out to me and I'll see how I can get one to you. You'll get 6 card bases. You'll get 6 half sheets of colored cardstock. Like, let me pull one out here. For example, like this. It'll be, 5.5 by 8.5. You're going to get 2 of this color, 2 of the beautiful Evening Evergreen, and 2 Poppy Parade, which is a pretty red. All of that plus complete directions. You will be able to make 6 cards, and you will have lots of leftovers so you can create your own projects. All of that for $20. And if you're interested in getting the stamp set, I'm throwing it in as a bonus. You just pay for the stamp set. I won't charge you shipping and tax on the stamp set. And that's $23. It's only if you get the paper share. You can't buy the stamp set and not the paper share. You can buy the stamp set, but you're going to pay the shipping and the tax. So like I said in my post, I was playing with this. These are the products that I'm using today. And then one more die cut. So this is the Rings of Nature bundle. It comes with all of these dies in this unique 3D embossing folder. It's probably hard to see it on the camera. Okay, I'm having an issue over here. So let's hold on a minute. I'm sorry, people. I just want to make sure I'm seeing myself okay. Okay, so this is our unique 3D. It's very, very thick if you haven't seen the new 3Ds. I'm going to show you how you can use it to create all of these embossed 3D elements. Really, really cool. So this is the coordinating stamp set that goes with it as well. And it goes with that paper pad. This, you could get this as a bonus, or you can buy my paper share. So you can see you have Christmas, you have a get well, anniversaries. That's a card that we never think of making ahead unless we need it at the last minute. So it's kind of cool that it's all in one package. Throughout the week this week, you will see some more samples other than the ones today that I will be creating as well. You will see pictures with them. So let's get started. The other thing that I took the banners out of is, remember a few years ago, you guys probably remember this, we had a set where you got squares, a die, you got squares, circles, and ovals, and we've missed them really bad. So they came out with this one where we have squares and the circles, but now we also have banners, which is great for greetings. It's called Stylish Shapes. And the product number is 159183. So, I want to show you how cool this thing works. So I have a piece of soft suede here, which is one of the corresponding colors on the back of the paper share. So what I do is, you're going to take this large die, you're going to put it in your folder on the side that has the Stampin' UP logo. So you can almost feel it go into place. It's pretty cool. There we go. So I can feel it's into place. I'm now going to place my cardstock. My cardstock is a little short, but that's okay. I can still work with it. And then I put this one down. Now I'm going to go put this in my cutter. For those of you that have the crank cutter, please, please make sure that you're always putting the folded side in, even with my electric one. I have an electric one because I have shoulder issues and thumb issues. always make sure that you're rotating it into the direction of the fold. I would not go back if you have your die piece in there. I would take it out and bring it back through, which you're going to hear me do. So just give me a second. While you're waiting, we can look at the first sample. No problem. Alright, so I'm back. As you can see, I still have it all like I showed you before I left. So when oh shoot, I forgot to put something in. Hold on. I forgot to put the layer back in. Alright, let's try this again. I took the wrong sandwich. Remember when you use your 3D embossing folders, your sandwiching, you know, the platform plate may be a little bit different. So first start with however your cutter suggests. If it's too thick, you got to take a layer out. If it's not catching good enough, try a piece of the back of your packaging for the designer series paper. Usually that's just thick enough. I cut it the width of whatever I'm embossing. There we go. So see how it embossed it, and when I take this off, it also cut them off for me. And it does not damage your embossing folder. I'm going to set those aside for a minute. And we're going to start by creating this card here. Now for this card here, I just used the designer series paper in that paper pack that I showed you. So on the back side you have some uniqueness. You find the paper that I used for you. So I took one of these, and then on the front side there's little houses. Then I cut a house. I hand cut it. It was a little bit quicker. There is no die for the house anyways. So I'm going to cut out a little different house this time. Using Stampin' Up's wonderful paper snips. These are the best $10 you will ever invest. I can promise you that. So as you can see, I'm letting my hand do the driving, not the scissors. So let me show you that again. I cut out one of these wood slices. So watch how I move the paper. I'm keeping my scissors in the same direction, moving my paper. That helps prevent some of that choppiness that you see sometimes. If you ask me any questions, I will go back after the video. I'm not one of those people that can chew gum and walk at the same time and answer your question if somebody on here hasn't already answered it for you. I so appreciate you all being here today. It's another hot run here in Maine. I'm sure it is wherever you are as well. Yeah. So I'm using a basic white cardstock. It is cut down hot dog style. So I call that 4 1/4 by 11. scored at 5.5. And then I have a mat. Now you can use that folder to just emboss as well, which is what I did here. If for some reason your folder isn't embossing as well as you think it should, first check out to make sure that you have the right sandwich. The second thing you could do, based on what you're using for cardstock, you could try misting it just a tad with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. The cheaper the better, it doesn't matter. Sometimes that helps you get a better detailed on embossing when we have these thick folders like this. So let me set this paper aside. I just cut out my favorite rectangle. I don't think it really matters what you're using here. Just something to add your greeting to. So remember, when we use photopolymer, which is what this stamp set is, we need to make sure that we have some type of a mat underneath us. The reason for that is that these stamps are clear, so there's none of that spongy stuff that you see on our red stamps. Now, if I haven't stamped for a couple of days with this particular stamp, I always do a test drive. So I'm eking it up, and you can see you don't have to press hard, and I'm going to test on my piece of scrap. Yep, it looks good. Come back. I'm going to do it right up here in the corner, and because it's clear, I can see exactly how it's going to stamp. So I'm just going to hold that there for about 10 or 15 seconds. You don't have to press very hard. Let the ink transfer from my stamp to my die cut. There we go, nice and crispy. So I think we're ready to assemble. Okay. So I'm going to use my favorite adhesive. You can use whatever. You can also use the back side. Look at that. Isn't that neat? So I'm centering that so that I have a nice white frame all the way around. Holding it down just for 10 or 15 seconds. Then I'm going to put a little bit of this linen thread. So most of you know me that have been with me for a number of years. Know I like to use the cheating method for any type of ribbon or twine. So in this particular case, I'm going to attach it with some dimensionals. I want to make sure that there's a couple right here where that twine's going to go. As you can see, I have 5 on there because I want to make sure that the center doesn't cave in. Oh, where is my pickup tool today? So I'm going to attach this right there, as you can see, right on top of that. I'm going to center that onto my card. So now I have a nice frame of the mint and the white showing. Then I just attach these with my wet glue. A little bit goes a long, long ways. I'm just going to hold that down for a few minutes. I'll take my little house. This is a great housewarming card, or Now this house is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to position it over just a smidgen. But I did want it to overhang. This is a great card for a housewarming or even a lovely anniversary card. So the other reason that I do the cheating method on my ribbons and stuff is because I want to be able to move my bow where I want it to be. So when you do it this way, you're going to see in a minute, I can move it up or down wherever I want it. So 2 bunny ears is how I make my bows, so that usually I can position them. So very simple but pretty, isn't it? So there's card number 1. Thank you. So card number 2 is kind of a little bit of a stepped up version. I needed an anniversary card, so this is my version. I'm using crushed curry. That's not a color that I use very often. So another saving tip that I wanted to show you was, let me get those dies. So what I do is to save on paper. This is going to be my layer here. I'm using another sheet of the different paper. This is going to be my layer here. So in order to save paper, you just take your die. I've done it ahead of time just to save time. But in this particular case, I just took this die, stuck it in the middle, and ran it through my embossing machine. So I don't have to cut another piece of paper, and it really, really saves on the layering process. Plus weight, you know, every time you add another layer, that makes your card just a little bit heavier. So let's attach this. Alright, so I want to show you how you can get this grainy center. So for some reason this didn't cut right. So I'm going to use this one and the smaller one, I guess. So what you do is in this same die, you can see you have individual pieces. So I'm going to take this one, which should fit. Let me double check. So you can see when I cut this out, it's going to fit that. And there's usually little notches. So now I'm going to cut that one out, and I'm going to cut this one out. They're very easy to match up. I was very impressed with that. So I'll be right back. Give me a minute. So as you can see, let me just put these back so don't lose them. As you can see, it didn't affect the embossing. It just took that rim off. So now I can place this one here, and then this one is going to go, let's see, I have the right one. Maybe it's this one. I try to line them up before. There we go. Yeah, I had the wrong one. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Tombow. I hope you guys can hit the share button while you're on as well to share with all of your wonderful friends. So remember when we used to have paper dolls? I don't even know if kids still. Every time I think of paper dolls, that tells my date. Remember McCall's magazine? You used to get them every month. This is what this kind of reminds me of. Those wonderful days of paper dolls. Alright, so now I'm going to put some of my favorite wet glue on the back of this. Remember, this is crushed curry. Not a color I would normally use, but it's very beautiful with this paper. I'm going to center this so I can have a nice frame, white frame, all the way around. I want to cover this cutout, so I'm going to do them the opposite this time. Just because something's not perfect doesn't mean that you can't use it. You just might have to make some modifications, as I say. Some more Tombow. Now, as detailed as these dies are, I highly recommend that you either use Tombow or your heavy duty tape, because these are pretty detailed and embossed. So here's my banner. This got attached right on as well. Okay. Sunday morning blouse, I guess, with my glue. I'm going to put that right there. Grab my paper piercing mat. I can stamp my greeting using that beautiful soft suede, which is one of the colors that coordinates very well with this paper. So you can see the ink gravitating to my stamp because it's clear. I did not push it all, I just let the ink go. Now I'm going to do the same with my greeting. Just hold it there for 10 or 15 seconds. Perfect. I am going to pop that up, so I'm going to use the edge here. Scissors, where are you? Oh, right here. Move this out of the way. This is the first time I'm sitting down doing this. All these, I rearranged my whole craft room, so normally when I did these in the past, I was standing. I'm going to center that on that. And then I have a cute little heart that I couldn't even begin to tell you all the dies that have a heart in it, or you might have a small heart punch. If you have the dog, I know there's one. The owl, there's one. Those are older punches. Off the top of my head, those are the only two that come. So I'm going to stick that right there. And see if I can find my blings. Put a few blings. Remember, if you put things in a triangle, if you're going to add embellishments, it's much more appealing to the eye. So there is today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. just a little bit about Facebook Lives. I will not be doing them every week. It was just too time consuming, and when I was over the vacation, I did a lot of reflection. I just never know how I'm going to feel, but they would definitely be on Sunday at this time, and I will post a few days before if I know I've had quite a few days where my diabetes has been pretty stable. Because I always work ahead, so I have the projects done. That's not the problem. I just never know, but I always feel better in the morning than I do in the evening, so that's why I made the decision to switch. So I hope you like my class. If you're watching on Facebook, there'll be some more really cute cards from this paper and stamp set for you. If you're interested in the paper share or paper pumpkin, which is going to be awesome this month, any classes, the crops, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you, everybody, and you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye-bye now.